Hey everybody, welcome back to Basil Builds. I am, as ever, your host, Basil Thistleton Smythe, and tonight we're working on the Infinite Justice Gundam. Last time, we went ahead and put together the entire torso, and it went together really well. I was really pleased with how well everything fit together. So now, we're going to start on the headpiece, and if we have enough time, we'll go and do the arms as well. So, the headpiece is almost always the fiddliest part, just because the pieces that end up going into the head are usually so darn small, and my fingers are so darn big. So, let's get the components of this. We're going to get our A runner. We're going to start with components A26, A8, and A4. So, let's find these guys. A26. Well, I found A4. Cut that one out first. Now, as usual, I'm using my run-of-the-mill Vulcan nippers here to get the pieces out, and then I go behind that with the with my Vulcan nippers. These guys are my Vulcan nippers. These guys are the generic nippers that came in my little $10 starter kit that I got a couple years ago. So that was, what was that? That was A4. Now I need A8. A8, here we go, right here. And I like to gently grasp the piece as it's being nipped so that it doesn't go flying when I cut it out, which is especially helpful on these small pieces. What's left for this step? A26, which is 24. Here we go, right here, A26. Stick that there, and finally, that there. Now it's time to come behind with my sharper nippers. Clean up all these little nubs here. Make sure we get this nice and close to the piece. That one went flying. Now this you have to be very careful. Some pieces have pegs that you should not be cutting off, because you're going to need those to attach the piece to the rest of the model kit. And also this here, this is not a piece to be cut off. Next we have this piece here as well. Let's trim up. And much like the other piece, this has a piece that sticks up like that. So on the side here. And then let's take a look at this piece here. These ones have sprues that almost come off by themselves, but still need clipping. All right, so now that we got our pieces cut out, let's take a quick look at them to see if any place needs some nub mark cleanup, and this one definitely does. This one is really too small for that to matter, and so is this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for places where we've got some pretty obvious nub marks. Now it looks like we've got one on this side, one on that side, and also one on the actual fin right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start doing a little sanding, and we do a progressive sanding. So we start with the lowest grit one. I have a 400 grit sanding stick, and I just hit each spot just a couple of times to smooth out the issue that we have. You don't want to go crazy with the high grit, with the low grit sanding sticks, because they can really wear away at your plastic, and you'll have a piece that is just will not fit properly because the dimensions are now off. So what I'm doing is I'm giving it one or two swipes and then feeling my finger to see if the nub is still there, and then I just keep doing that slowly but surely until the nub is worn down. That one's good now. And let's see this last one here. Yes. You want to go in just one direction when you're sanding nubs down. If you're going back and forth, you tend to do a little too much, and that can end up, again, really beating up your part. Okay, so now the nubs are gone, but you see there's plenty of abrasion marks left. That's why we use progressive sanding sticks. Switch to my 600. I hit each one again a little bit, once or twice. This is not for cleaning out any of the nub marks. This is more for starting the buffing process. So you want to do it progressively. So you start with the next stick up, do it just a couple of hits, and then the next stick up. Again, this is the 800 now. Hit all the spots. Now, as each stick ends up progressively smaller, higher and higher grit, you can go over each spot a little more, I wouldn't say aggressively, but with a little more elbow grease. You can start going back and forth if you want. And as you can see, it's starting to come up a little bit. But when we get back into these really high grit, like I've got a 2001 here. Start on this one, and you'll feel a difference too. You'll feel a difference. It's much less of a grinding feeling and more of a buffing, polishing feeling. And that's exactly what we're going to do with these last ones. I've got a 3000 grit sanding stick. This is where the buffing really starts to show. Now, will you get your plastic back to the way it looked before you did nub mark removal? Maybe not pristine, but it'll be pretty darn close if you're careful. Go overboard. You don't want to use too much force. Again, you can end up making huge divots in your plastic, and then when you put pieces together, it'll be obvious that one piece is a lot more worn down than the other. All right, let's hit this one with the last one. It's a 7000 grit sanding stick. This is really just the polishing level, and as you can see, these guys did the trick pretty much. Now, can you tell there were nub marks there? Not really. I mean, you can see that maybe there's a little bit of residual stuff left over, but for the most part, they look a lot better than they did before we hit these. So now we're going to put these pieces together. So we're going to start with A26. Actually, A8 goes into A4 first. There's a little number here. And it goes to the bottom. Make sure you're putting things in the right direction. Like this. Goes in right there. Should be a slot. Should slide right in. There we go. And we're putting A26 in above it. Make sure you put this one in the right way too. It should only go in one direction. I believe that is it. Oh, maybe not. There we go. That looks pretty snug. Yep, nice and snug. So those three pieces are together now. Now this makes up the back of the head, obviously, and some of the internals of the face. Next, we move on. We need A2, which is going to be right here. Where are you, A2? A8, A9, 11, A3, A4, A2. It's a little green piece. Again, continuing with the maroon green color scheme that is in the torso, which you wouldn't think would work, but it actually does pretty well. And what other pieces we're going to need? We're going to need E112 as well. Put my alphabetized runners here. This is E1, correct? Yes, E1 12. And of course, it's a teeny tiny piece. So be very, very careful. Cut this guy out. Because if you don't control that piece, it will go flying. Cut it out. Okay. And we're also going to need the sticker sheet, because we have to make sure the eyes are colored. So, there's our sticker sheet. Okay, first things first, let's clean up these sprues here. Again, do the same process. Now, I am not going to be very assiduous with cleaning up these pieces, because most of them are not going to be visible when they're in the spot they're supposed to be. So, don't have to worry about that. What we do have to worry about, however, is the difficulty getting these stickers on. There's only one sticker that needs to go on this, thank goodness, but it is the eyes. So it goes onto this piece here, the green piece. So first things first, I'm going to grip this guy so it doesn't go flying. Oops. Make sure I'm holding it the right direction so that it's easy to actually grip. This is where reverse pliers are very useful. As you can see, I don't have to squeeze them to keep this guy in place. Take a quick look here. So yeah, the sticker is going to go right on top here. Now, if you look carefully, you'll be able to see that there is a shape cut out right there. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to peel off sticker number 1. And I'm going to apply that sticker more or less to where it should go. Now, this is kind of dicey because it requires a steady hand and lots of patience. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking out the very end of my hobby knife, or attempting to anyway. And now, I'll grab this guy, bring it up real close to my face so I can see this, and we're going to try to stick this guy on here in a way that it will, oh dear, that's not good. Straighten that out a little bit. There we go. I think that's about as good as I can expect to get out of this process, which is not an easy one. As you can see, it's pretty much on there correctly. It's a little cockeyed, but it's actually one of the better applications of eye decals that I've done, I would say, which is pretty depressing if you think about it. Yeah, this is one of the better ones. This is one of the better times, man. Hey, every little bit of practice gets you farther and farther along your goal. So now that's been put on, we can look into actually sliding these guys into place. So, first things first, this guy goes in to here, and there's a little slot that we'll just slide right into, God willing. There we go. That slips right all the way back. This is not a bad job. And now we need to put the white piece, which is the face plate. That goes in, I believe, like that. That's not, is that right? Yes, that is right. And as you can see, you can actually almost see the eyes behind the faceplate. Now, could they have been placed a little higher? Yes. But at this point, this is as good as you're going to get. Now, next step, we have the back of the head, plus the V-fin, which is always an important step. So, we need runner A again, which is A3. A3, here we go. Make sure you use the right nippers in the right time. There we go. And there's one more piece, I believe. A16, which is, yes, here we go, the big yellow V-fin. It's pretty traditional for Gundam models to have not only just a V-fin, but also a bright yellow one. Okay, let's trim these guys up. Get them ready for application. Next, and this last one here. Also the faceplate, let's clean that up a little bit. There we go. And look at this guy. The nubs are not that bad here. I'm going to decline to clean them up. Okay, so first things first. A16 goes into A3. Just like this. Is that correct? Sliding in just like that. Oh, very nice. Okay. Next, E3 slides into place on the rest of the head. That goes just like that. Okay, there looks like there's just one piece left of the head here. It is E111. Back to E1. Cut out piece number 11. E111. And this one is getting some decals too. And the instructions say to put decals on before applying it to the head. That sounds like a great idea to me. That'll make it obviously much less difficult to deal with these stickers. Now, we'll put these stickers on. Let's see, we have... Okay. Trim some of these guys off here so make it a little easier to see what I'm doing. God bless white plastic. Can barely see any nub marks. Yep, that's great. Okay, so let's see. We have decal number 2 going. We'll peel this guy off. And that goes on the base right there. So I'm going to slip that guy in there. Move it around so it looks like it's in place more or less. Oh, some good placement. Okay, and then 4 goes in that long strip above it. So first we'll peel that guy off. Okay, then we will apply this carefully. See, it's a little off there. Simply because, well, these longer ones are usually more difficult to get in the right spot. Oh, there we go. That's pretty good. That's darn good as far as I'm concerned. All right. Am I missing anything? Oh, yes. One last one. Decal number 3 goes on the back right there. I knew I was missing something. This should be relatively easy. Of course, now that I've said that, I'm going to screw it up because that's what happens when you say, oh, this should be just fine. Don't worry about it. This should be easy. Really, dude? You have to open your mouth. You're going to get struck by lightning. Figurative lightning. I'm not actually afraid of getting struck by literal lightning. So we're going to kind of drop this guy into place here. I should have done it the other way. So that is not where it's supposed to go. Drop it in. It is totally crooked. Around a little bit. I'm going to have to squint and get my eyes real close on this guy because I can't see for crap. I see. Alright, here we go. Oh, it lined it up that way. Push it inside. A little more. Almost. Oh, almost there. There we go. Got it. Okay. Fantastic. Now we can put this top piece on. Little mohawk looking piece here. This goes right on top, huh? Yes. So that it's... Am I doing this right? I think I am. Like that. I don't quite either. I'm just going like this. There we go. Yep. There we go. Now we have a fully complete head unit for the Infinite Justice Gundam. This, of course, will go on top of the body right there. Okay, so at this point, we're going to do the arms as well. And just because I'm not going to make you guys sit through me building 2 of the exact same thing, I went ahead and built one of the arms already before recording. So we wanted to make the right arm, which is there. It's going to be ready to go. We're going to go ahead and build build the left arm. So let us begin. First, we're going to start with C2, 5, 6, C2, 5, and 6. C2. Well, this is C1 with the same color. Of course. There we go. C2, 5, C2, 6. Got these guys clear. There we go. Okay. Clean these guys up. And also, because I made all my mistakes on the arms off camera, I will look much more professional and good as I put these together on camera. It's a little trick. Of course, now that I told you guys about it, it's not really much of a trick. But, hey, whatever. I'm being honest, right? That's policy. Of course, that makes lying the second best policy. But hey, you know what? It works, it works. Okay, next we need the connectors, which is a B214. So let's pull out B2. Here. B214. 1314. So what we're building right now is the shoulder piece. Complete with joint. Be sure to leave the pegs here. They are very important. You leave them all together without these pegs sticking out.
Drink colored light.
Okay, so now these three pieces sandwiched together. First, this guy. Looks like this. This little dude goes in this peg here, just like that. Pieces in the pegs as you're supposed to be as you're putting together these models. I just don't like to stay in the pegs, which is, gonna happen. Kind of, I wouldn't say think fast. It's not what this is about. It's more about making sure everything stays where it's supposed to go. Okay, first of all, there we go. Look at that snap going place. Now the other piece should go on. Sandwich is relatively easy, as everything simply just needs to match up to the other pieces that are already in place.
See me drink colored light.
There we go. That's nice and tight. That's part of the shoulder piece put together. Okay, so now we need some housing pieces. We're going to need A6 and A7. Let's pop these guys out. There we go. A6 and A7. This A runner has some hard plastic, which you can hear as I'm cutting it. Typically, the hard plastics are for the outer pieces of the model, like the armor, and things like that. And I believe this is going to be part of the shoulder armor, so that makes perfect sense. Go. Check these guys up. Okay. Almost done. Now, do have a few little marks left over, little nub marks. So I'm going to clean these up real quick. And on pieces that are kind of small, you don't have to go like that. You can actually leave the sanding stick on the table and use it to and then rub your piece against it. Just be careful. Remember, don't use too much force. So you can see how much red plastic is coming off actually when I rub this. So there we go. There goes that nub. There's a little bit of a nub on that side too. Let me take care of that one. Do this side too. So this one is the hard piece right here. So remember, don't just scrub, because you're going to over sand and they'll be screwed. I mean, the pieces will probably fit together, but there'll probably be big gaps, and that's not going to look good. Here we go. That's 400. Then we hit them with 600. Okay. All right. You can also use your finger to feel if those nubs are gone too. Just a little more sanding down. There we go. Now I'm doing this pretty fast, but you do not have to go this fast. You can take your time. Since I've already done one side of this body, so I've done one set of arms already, I am familiar with where the nub marks were. We're going to expect them to how much pressure you needed to clean them. So I am benefiting from my experience, which is what all good Gunpla builders do. Or any Gunpla builder, really. Even if you're a bad builder, you're still going to learn plenty of things just from building. Of course, I don't know if I really want to call Gunpla builders bad Gunpla builders. I mean, it's more about just experience levels. If you don't have the experience, you're not going to know all these little tricks and tips and so forth, so that your end result won't look as polished as other people's end results. So it's not really, I don't want to say the word bad, you know? There are no bad Gunpla builders. There are just new ones and there are experienced ones. And even experienced ones are always learning new skills. Like, I am nowhere near an expert. I would not qualify myself as an expert. Absolutely not. I have seen some incredible builds. People that have done really, really detailed stuff. Custom stuff, weathering, full dioramas. Like, it's really, you can do whatever you like. The thing is, I don't know if I'll ever get to that level. It's an amazing thing to aspire to, but I know my limit. I would probably never be able to get there. But does that mean I've stopped building Gunpla because I'll never get to the top tier of Gunpla building? Of course not. This is my hobby. I enjoy it. I love it. I love the models. I love the shows that they're all from. It's about enjoying yourself. What do they say? What do they always say? What do I always say? Gunpla is freedom. It is. Okay, we need E2, 5, and 6. 2. Here we go. Continuing our shoulder construction. Get these guys done. I really do like this model so far. It has been pleasantly surprising. All the pieces have been fitting together really snugly. Even the head did not give me the kind of nightmarish issues that I usually get whenever I do Gunpla heads. The joints are really good and tight. I have no complaints at all so far. All right, where'd that piece go that I needed? It got up and left. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay, see? That's like the biggest and scariest moment when you have a piece that you built and it seems to be missing. And you're like, it was just here. What is happening? Don't worry. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Okay, this part goes in here. Just like that. Oh no, wait, that's upside down. Like this. There we go. Put these pegs in here. There we go. This goes in this peg here. There we go. And this sandwiches everything together. It's the outside, it's the outer housing. Which is sometimes a bit of a pain to get all. There's a lot of pegs with this guy here. That's usually. There we go. And nice and tight together. So that's the shoulder. The shoulder is pretty much done. That means we move on to the arm parts, the upper and lower arm. Put this guy over. Okay, so now we make the arm joint. It's a fairly simple arm joint, but it works great. So we've got B2, 11, 10, 11, and 13. So B2, 10. That is the upper arm. B2, 11, which is the lower arm. B2, 13, which is one side of the shoulder joint. I'm sorry, the elbow joint, excuse me. So, clean these guys up. Get rid of these nubs. Again, watch for any pegs that need to remain where they are. Do not be overzealous in your clipping. Okay. So, if any of you watched my previous video where we did the torso, you might have noticed they did not have my usual intro and outro bumper. And that is not because of any issue with my producer or editor. It's completely my fault. I had gotten the proper video back with the usual bumpers set in place after my producer said that my editor was done and it was ready to go. However, I neglected to upload the right video. So that was completely on me, my fault. I just was not paying attention. I didn't check it until after the entire thing had been uploaded to YouTube and had gone live. So much for that. Now, this time I will endeavor to actually pay attention to what I'm doing so as not to screw up again like that. Alright, so these guys need to be positioned properly, otherwise the joint will not bend in the way it should. Go, that goes like that. This goes, I believe, like this. Yes, okay, so you see this is the, now we can get the cap, which is B212. You can free this one from the runner. Make some snips here. And then cap this off. That, of course, prevents the elbow from falling apart. Great. Now all I have to do is put the armor pieces on, and the other arm is done. So let's get to work on that. Next piece we have C2, 7 and 13. C2, 7 and 13. Here we go. C2, 7. C2, 13. These guys up. Now, for the sake of time, I will not clean these guys up right now. I will do that after the video, just so I'm not dragging this out too long. But don't worry, if you see any nub marks, they will be going bye-bye. Don't freak out or anything. So let's apply these guys. First things first, let's just match up the pegs to the parts. These are the lower arm. Make sure these are pointing in the right direction. Right direction, right direction. There we go. Okay. Match everything up to the spots they're supposed to be in. There we are. Come on, buddy. Where are your... Yeah, let me do it this way. Connect this guy first. There we go. Then put this guy on. There, see, these guys fit really well together. A lot of the times when you put the armor together like this, it doesn't sit well. This is really well engineered. That's why part of the reason why I really like this model. Okay, now we need C22 and C21. So let's do those. Here's C22. And C21. Got those free. This is definitely one of the better arms that I've come across. So this part goes under here, I believe, like this. Oh, wait, could be wrong. Which would do? Nope, I was right. Goes in right like that. And yes, those nub marks will be cleaned up. Don't you worry. And this piece goes on like this. Flush all the way down. There we go. Now, what's left? The hand itself. So this calls for B121. Here we go. B121. The actual fist part. And also C120. Which is right here, which is the back of the hand. Cut this guy free. Let's do our customary cleanup. That there. That there. Slip these guys here. Here. Careful that ball joint. You don't want to cut that close. Cut that there. Oh, there's a little big old spur. We can get rid of that right now. There we go. And this piece just fits into the back of the hand here. It actually closes off here. Stick you right in there. With my big fat fingers. There we go. Okay, now check this out. This goes right in there like that. And then this will go in this shoulder piece just like that. And now we have a left hand and arm to go with the right-handed arm, plus the head. And at this point, let's put everything together, shall we? Let's put the left arm on. the right arm on, and the head. And as you can see, we are just about halfway there now. This is looking fantastic. I am super happy with this build so far. And next time we'll do the waist, the legs. Any of the other pieces are coming along nicely. So, if you have any questions or comments on the build so far, leave them in the comment section below. And like my daughter always says, don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Basil Smythe signing off for now. See you next time.